The night of November 8, 2016, was electric. Across America, millions glued themselves to television screens, the fate of the nation hanging in the balance. In the heart of Moscow, within the imposing walls of the Russian State Duma, a different kind of anticipation crackled in the air. The air was thick with cigar smoke, the room buzzing with hushed conversations. These were not impartial observers. The members of the Duma, Russia's parliament, had a clear favorite in the American election. The historical echoes in the room were deafening. For decades, the United States and Russia had been locked in a bitter ideological struggle, a Cold War that had shaped the destinies of nations and the lives of millions. The fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 had promised a new era of cooperation, but old suspicions and rivalries lingered. Now, as America chose its 45th president, the ghosts of the Cold War seemed to stir once more. The American election was more than just a political event for Russia. It was a matter of national interest. A Trump victory, many in the Duma believed, would signal a shift in the global balance of power, weakening American influence and opening up opportunities for Russia to reassert itself on the world stage. As the night wore on and the results began to trickle in, a sense of anticipation, bordering on euphoria, spread through the Duma's Grand Hall. The mood in the Duma was in stark contrast to the stunned silence that descended upon Hillary Clinton's headquarters as the night progressed. Early exit polls had favored Clinton, and many had anticipated a decisive victory for the former Secretary of State. But as the results from key battleground states began to paint a different picture, a sense of disbelief and then dread crept in. The impossible seemed to be happening. Donald J. Trump, the real estate mogul and reality TV star, was on the verge of becoming the most powerful man in the world. In Moscow, however, the mood was jubilant. As Trump's victory became increasingly apparent, cheers erupted from the assembled Duma members. Champagne bottles were uncorked, toasts were made, and the room filled with the sounds of celebration. Russian state-controlled media, which had been openly sympathetic to Trump throughout the campaign, triumphantly declared him the winner. This was no ordinary election night. This was a moment of profound historical significance, at least in the eyes of the Russian political elite. The celebrations in the Duma were not merely a reflection of Trump's victory. They were a testament to the man who had played a pivotal role in shaping Russia's perception of the American election, Vyacheslav Nikonov, a prominent Duma member and grandson of Vyacheslav Molotov, Stalin's longtime foreign minister. Nikonov, a staunch Putin ally and a key figure in shaping Russia's foreign policy, had been a vocal supporter of Trump throughout the campaign, often appearing on Russian state television to praise Trump's pro-Russia rhetoric and to downplay Clinton's foreign policy experience. Vyacheslav Nikonov was a product of the Soviet system. Born into a family deeply embedded in the Communist Party elite, he had witnessed firsthand the machinations of power in the Soviet Union. His grandfather, Vyacheslav Molotov, was a notorious figure in Soviet history, infamous for his role in the signing of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, a non-aggression agreement between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union that paved the way for World War II. The pact, which included a secret protocol dividing Eastern Europe into spheres of influence, remains a symbol of the cynicism and brutality of 20th century geopolitics. Nikonov's own career path mirrored the tumultuous history of his homeland. He had served as a diplomat in the Soviet Foreign Ministry during the waning years of the Cold War, witnessing the collapse of the Soviet Empire from a privileged yet unsettling vantage point. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Nikonov transitioned into politics, becoming a member of the State Duma and a close confidant of Vladimir Putin. His personal history, intertwined with the rise and fall of the Soviet Union, gave him a unique perspective on the dynamics of power and the importance of ideology in shaping global events. Nikonov's support for Trump was not simply a matter of political expediency. It stemmed from a deep-seated belief that Trump's worldview aligned with Russia's interests. Trump's disdain for NATO, his skepticism of American involvement in foreign conflicts, and his admiration for authoritarian leaders like Putin resonated with the Russian leadership, who saw in Trump an opportunity to advance their own geopolitical agenda. As the election results confirmed Trump's victory, Nikonov found himself at the center of a historical moment, one that seemed to validate his convictions and promised to reshape the contours of global politics.